Hello, and welcome to myfinanceteacher.org. In this video, I'm going to talk about natural gas. And the reason we're going to talk about natural gas is because one of the members at myfinanceteacher.org raised the question about the performance of natural gas more recently. By the way, if you want to join us at myfinanceteacher.org, you are more than welcome. And you can join us by clicking this register button on the home page. Now let's move back to this weekly chart of natural gas. Zooming out a little bit over the last several years at least, you can see that natural gas has generally followed the cycles that usually last for about 26 weeks on average. And you also notice from this chart that natural gas is pretty volatile. For example, back in the middle of 2018, the cycle's gyration, the cycle's moves, were anywhere from the prices ranging from around 2.7 all the way up to 4.8 and possibly even slightly higher. So an average duration of around half a year, 26 weeks for the natural gas cycle. And incidentally, the previous cycle that finished back in September this year also lasted for exactly 26 weeks. So that brings us to the ongoing cycle, which is now only about 8 weeks long. So based on the average duration of the cycles, based on winter upcoming, I think there is still a potential for natural gas to possibly poke once more through the upper range of the Bollinger Bands. Even though within this cycle over the last 3 to 4 weeks, we've already seen natural gas drop from over $3.3, $3.4 all the way down to under 2.7 at the moment. Zooming back a little bit, let's say since the beginning of 2019, we see that at least in the last couple of cycles, after a strong rally in natural gas, there was quite a strong cool down before another push higher to poke once more through the upper range of the Bollinger Bands before natural gas drops into the end of the cycle. Last autumn and winter, natural gas peaked in the beginning of November. Does that also mean that the peak in natural gas prices that we saw just 3 or 4 weeks ago is the peak for ongoing cycle, or we still have another poke higher? To be honest, nobody knows the future, but in my humble opinion, I think there is still another push higher in natural gas prices, even if not to break the recent highs, but possibly at least to test that round number of $3 before the ongoing natural gas cycle proceeds into the later stages. To put that on the chart, I still expect some sort of a bounce over the next few weeks before the later stages of the ongoing cycle will likely push natural gas prices lower. Whether the new peak is going to give us a higher high or not, that remains to be seen. Next, let's have a look at this chart by the Energy Information Administration. The blue line here shows the ongoing gas storage and how it corresponds to the average gas storage over the last 5 years. That's the brown line over here. We see that back in September, there was an unusually high amount of natural gas in the storage. And what do you know, it actually coincides with the recent low in natural gas prices around the later parts of September. Moving forward, what do we expect? To be honest, a lot will depend on the weather. So let's have a look at some sort of a longer-term weather forecasts. And we'll do that for a range of regions in the US. This is the Atlantic Corridor region. The red bars is what we are interested in, as those indicate temperature. And we see that while now in November, the weather forecast shows higher than normal temperatures for November, that might be the reason why natural gas prices are softening at the moment. But going further into the future, looking at December and January, we see that we do expect slightly lower temperatures as opposed to normal, at least for the Atlantic corridor. And actually the situation is the same for many other regions. Another example here is Northeast, higher than normal temperatures for November and lower than normal temperatures both for December and January. Same situation for Southeast, slightly higher than normal temperatures now in November, and we still expect lower than normal temperatures in December and January. However, in all of these regions, you will also notice that February is expected to be pretty warm. So, in accordance to the weather forecast, if December and January do turn out to be colder than usual, possibly this blue line might drop below this brown line, where the amount of natural gas storage would be below the usual over the last 5 years. That might actually help push natural gas prices back up over that $3 level. And that is my expectation over the intermediate term, I would say, within the ongoing natural gas cycle. And with our members at myfinancesteacher.org, we are holding 6 of the selected natural gas distributors back in the US. And at the moment, even after a significant drop in natural gas prices over the last few weeks, still the share prices of 4 out of those 6 natural gas prices are above our entry price. By the way, if you want to have a look at more details of our trades on a range of assets, you are welcome to join us at myfinancesteacher.org. Now let's compare how this weather forecast agree with the seasonality in natural gas prices. Let's have a look at 20-year, 10-year, and 5-year seasonality. This is from January 2000 up to November 2020, what we have so far. And as you see, usually natural gas prices do perform really well in autumn, and actually, unfortunately, usually they don't perform well in winter. Although usually you would expect heating demands in winter to push natural gas prices, as it happens in autumn as well. So that's the view for 20-year seasonality. 10-year seasonality also looks somewhat similar, where autumn sees nice positive gains on natural gas prices. And interestingly, natural gas price does seem to drop in winter. And finally, looking at 5 to 6 year seasonality, again a similar picture with a drop in natural gas prices for December, January, and February. So as you see, this seasonality picture shows that some caution is still advised over here on natural gas, but personally I am still holding those natural gas distributors, as I think there is still one more push higher left within the ongoing natural gas cycle. Now let's zoom in from weekly to the daily chart, and what we see here is the cycle so far has been going on for about 8 weeks, more specifically for only 60 days. And over the last several weeks, since late October, natural gas has been following this downtrend channel, where yesterday it bounced off from the lower range of this channel. So on one hand, in the intermediate term over the next few weeks, as the ongoing cycle is still young, I do expect relative strength in natural gas prices. But the question still remains in the very short term, whether natural gas price will first bounce up to the upper range of this downward channel, or if natural gas prices first close this gap at around $2.35. If the first scenario happens, if natural gas prices bounce from here, that would be a bounce from the 50% Fibonacci retracement, which is a common occurrence. And even if the gap is closed first before a subsequent bounce, that would be close enough to that 62% Fibonacci retracement. Additionally, we also see that natural gas has already poked at least a couple of times through the lower range of the Bollinger Bands, and the Bollinger Bands are relatively wide. This also often indicates that at least some sort of a bounce is upcoming. Next, looking at 14-day RSI, it's only at 40.2, and yesterday it was as low as 39. That's pretty low, I think, for the natural gas cycle, which is so far only 8 weeks long. So even if we don't see a new high in natural gas prices within this cycle, still, I expect at least a retest of $3. So that's my view on natural gas, and let me leave you with this question, the answer to which I would be quite interested. If you do trade natural gas, which vehicle do you use? Share your experience in the comments below, and even if you don't have any experience trading natural gas, hit that like button and share this video with your friends. And of course, remember to subscribe to the channel. For now, I wish you a nice day and Good luck in your trades.